In the intricate dance of modern romance, understanding where you truly stand in a partner's heart can sometimes feel like solving a complex puzzle. While verbal declarations of love are beautiful, words can be spoken easily and without real intent. The true depth of a man's commitment, however, is rarely found in grand, cinematic gestures or rehearsed speeches. Instead, it is quietly revealed through his daily habits, his subtle shifts in body language, and the instinctive ways he reacts when your bond is tested. When a man genuinely recognizes your worth and faces the terrifying realization that he cannot imagine his future without you, a powerful psychological shift occurs. He stops simply enjoying the relationship and begins actively, consciously protecting it. This profound fear of losing you triggers an array of instinctual, silent behaviors that speak volumes about his devotion. He becomes hyper-aware of your emotional world, meticulously attentive to your needs, and deeply invested in your long-term happiness. You will notice him lowering his emotional guard to share his hidden vulnerabilities, integrating you seamlessly into his closest inner circle, and treating your shared time as something entirely sacred. These actions are not driven by a toxic desire for control or insecurity. Rather, they are the natural, involuntary responses of a man who views you as his ultimate priority and his greatest source of peace. By observing these subtle yet undeniable signs, you can peer past the surface noise of casual dating and uncover the profound, unbreakable emotional anchor he has planted in your life. The following comprehensive breakdown explores the 15 definitive behavioral pillars that signal he is absolutely terrified of ever letting you go. 1. He remembers the tiniest details. When a man is genuinely terrified of losing you, his brain naturally treats every piece of information you share as incredibly valuable. He listens with intense focus because he wants to understand your world perfectly. He will effortlessly recall your favorite coffee order, a random childhood memory you mentioned months ago, or the exact thing that stresses you out at work. This deep level of attentiveness shows that you are his absolute priority. He does not just listen to pass the time, he stores these minor details away to use them later to comfort you, surprise you, or make your life easier. By remembering the small things, he subconsciously signals that he values your presence and is deeply invested in keeping you happy, comfortable, and feeling completely loved within the relationship. 2. His body language signals deep attachment. Actions speak much louder than words, and his physical presence will often betray his deepest fears of separation. When you are together, he will naturally lean in closely whenever you speak, maintaining strong, warm eye contact that feels entirely intentional. You will notice subconscious gestures like him reaching out to hold your hand in crowded places, placing a protective hand on the small of your back, or pulling you into long, tight hugs that feel like he never wants to let go. Even when he is completely asleep, he might instinctively reach across the bed just to make sure you are still right there beside him. This constant desire for physical proximity and reassuring touch is a powerful, involuntary reaction driven by his emotional need to feel securely bonded and safely connected to you. 3. He becomes noticeably anxious during arguments. Conflict is a normal part of any relationship, but for a man who is terrified of losing you, a simple disagreement can feel like a major threat to your future together. During arguments, you might notice visible signs of nervousness, such as him pacing, stumbling over his words, or looking genuinely distressed. He does not fight to win or to feed his ego. Instead, his primary goal is to de-escalate the tension as quickly as possible. He will listen to your perspective with a gentle attitude because the thought of you walking away scares him far more than being wrong. This distinct anxiety during tough moments proves that he values your emotional connection immensely, and he would happily swallow his pride rather than risk a silly fight creating a permanent distance between you. 4. He checks in frequently. A man who fears losing your affection will always make sure he remains a consistent, reliable presence in your daily life. He checks in on you throughout the busy day, sending thoughtful text messages or making quick phone calls just to hear your voice and see how you are doing. It is crucial to note that this behavior is never driven by a toxic desire for control or jealousy. He does not demand to know your location out of suspicion. Rather, he genuinely cares about your well-being, your safety, and your emotional state. He wants you to know that you are constantly on his mind, even when you are physically apart. This steady communication is his gentle way of maintaining a strong, unbreakable bridge between your separate lives every single day. 5. He involves you in his long-term future plans. When a man is deeply afraid of a future without you, He will naturally make sure you are firmly woven into every single plan he creates. Whether he is discussing his career progression, buying a new house, or planning a vacation for next year, he will automatically use the word we instead of I. He actively maps out his life with your happiness and presence, completely taken for granted. He never makes major life changes in a vacuum. Instead, he ensures that his trajectory aligns perfectly with your dreams and goals. By constantly framing his future around you, he is silently showing that he cannot imagine a life where you are not standing right by his side, making you an irreplaceable part of his destiny. 6. He makes sacrifices without hesitation. When a man is terrified of losing you, your happiness and comfort naturally become his top priorities. He will happily rearrange his busy schedule, miss an event with his friends, or drive across town late at night just to make your life a little easier. You will notice that he does not keep score or complain about these adjustments. He makes them willingly because seeing you happy brings him peace. These sacrifices are never about manipulation or guilt. Instead, they are a powerful, silent demonstration of his commitment. He recognizes that relationships require effort, and he is fully prepared to give up his own comfort if it means keeping you securely by his side. By consistently putting your needs ahead of his own, he shows that your presence in his life is completely irreplaceable. 7. He asks for your opinion on major decisions. A man who values your presence will never treat you like an afterthought when making big choices. Whether he is thinking about changing his career path, buying a new car, or navigating a difficult situation with his family, he will actively seek your advice and deeply respect your perspective. He does not just ask out of politeness. He genuinely lets your insights shape his final choices. This behavior shows that he views you as his equal partner and wants to build a life that accommodates your feelings and vision. By involving you in these critical turning points, he is silently ensuring that his future trajectory remains perfectly aligned with yours, proving that he cannot imagine making significant steps forward without your guidance and full approval. 8. He shows vulnerability and shares his fears. Men are often conditioned to hide their insecurities, but a man who is terrified of losing you will lower his emotional walls completely. He will trust you enough to share his deepest worries, past hurts, and future anxieties that he keeps hidden from the rest of the world. When he opens up about his flaws or admits his fear of failure, he is handing you the keys to his heart. This raw honesty is a clear sign of deep emotional attachment. He is willing to look weak in front of you because he craves a genuine, unbreakable bond. By allowing you to see his true, unfiltered self, he is silently committing to a relationship built on absolute trust, proving that he values your emotional connection above his pride. 9. He actively seeks to make amends quickly. In any relationship, misunderstandings are bound to happen, but a man who fears losing you will never let a disagreement linger. You will not experience the cold shoulder or prolonged silent treatment from him. Even if he was not entirely in the wrong, he will swallow his pride and approach you with a gentle heart to resolve the issue as fast as possible. He will offer sincere, heartfelt apologies and take concrete steps to change any behavior that caused you pain. His primary focus is always on healing the connection rather than winning an argument. This urgency to fix things shows that the thought of a rift growing between you is far too painful for him to bear, making your peace his top priority. 10. He double-checks that you're happy. A man who is deeply invested in your relationship will never take your love for granted or assume everything is perfect. He will routinely check in on the state of your relationship, asking thoughtful questions like whether you feel fulfilled, appreciated, and supported by him. He genuinely wants to know if there is anything he can do to become a better partner for you. This proactive approach shows that he is hyper-aware of your emotional state and constantly strives to meet your standards. He does not wait for a major crisis to fix things. Instead, he continuously polishes the relationship to ensure you never have a reason to look elsewhere, proving that keeping you completely happy is his lifelong mission. 11. He becomes extra attentive to your needs and moods. A man who is deeply afraid of losing you becomes highly attuned to your emotional frequency. He can instantly read a shift in your energy, noticing the exact moment your smile fades or your voice drops a fraction. If you are feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or sad, he will immediately step in to lighten your load without being asked. He might take over household chores, cook your favorite meal, or simply create a quiet space for you to vent. This hyper-awareness is driven by a deep desire to keep your emotional world secure and stable. He monitors your mood, because your comfort directly impacts his peace of mind. By constantly adjusting his behavior to make sure you feel supported, he is silently proving that your happiness is the foundation of his entire world. 12. He protects and defends you fiercely. When a man views you as his permanent partner, a natural, powerful protective instinct takes over his behavior. This goes far beyond just shielding you from physical harm. He will actively protect your peace of mind, your reputation, and your emotional well-being. If someone speaks disrespectfully to you or tries to minimize your value, he will stand up for you instantly, regardless of who it is. He wants the entire world to know that he has your back completely and that you are never alone in any battle. This fierce loyalty is his way of creating a safe harbor for you within the relationship. By standing as an unwavering shield between you and any outside negativity, he is showing you that he will do absolutely anything to keep you safe and by his side. 13. He integrates you into his closest inner circle. A man who treats your relationship as a temporary arrangement will keep his personal life separate, but a man who fears a future without you will pull you tightly into his inner world. He will introduce you to his family, invite you to hang out with his lifelong friends, and proudly showcase you at important events. He wants his loved ones to know you, love you, and view you as a permanent fixture in his life. This deliberate integration serves a dual purpose. It builds a shared community around your relationship and reinforces the idea that you belong together. By weaving you into the social fabric of his life, he is sending a clear signal that you are not just a passing phase, but an essential part of his identity. 14. He values your quality time over everything else. In a world full of endless distractions and busy schedules, a man who is terrified of losing you will always treat your shared time as sacred. He does not just show up physically while staring at his phone. He makes a conscious effort to be completely present, engaged, and attentive. He will enthusiastically plan creative date nights, suggest weekend getaways, or simply cherish the quiet moments sitting next to you on the couch. For him, being near you is where he feels most grounded and secure. He will actively turn down outside invitations or skip optional work events just to secure an evening with you. This constant craving for your presence is a clear indicator that your company is his ultimate comfort zone and his favorite escape from the world. 15. He explicitly tells you how much you mean to him. While actions are incredibly important, a man who genuinely fears losing you will eventually let his deep emotions overflow into his words. He will not leave you guessing about his feelings or keep you hanging in romantic uncertainty. Instead, he will offer random, heartfelt compliments, express intense gratitude for your presence, and explicitly tell you how much better his life has become since you arrived. These confessions often happen during quiet, vulnerable moments when he looks at you and realizes just how empty his world would be without you. By openly verbalizing his deep appreciation and love, he is attempting to reassure both you and himself, laying his cards flat on the table to ensure you never doubt his devotion